If I'm in the kitchen down here doing activities or cards, he makes comments to me and tells other residents, calls me names.
Liar.
This has just been a
Mr. Patton, don't say a word. I'm sorry, Mr. Patton, don't say a word until I ask you.
This is just
Is there a way you can turn the picture off so I don't have to look at my sister? It's upsetting me greatly and making it hard to speak.
Nope. Okay.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, have a seat, have a seat, have a seat. Everybody have a seat.
Siéntense todos.
All right, everybody, this is what I like to call a you problem tonight. This is not your mother's problem, your grandmother's problem, your baby mama's problem. This is all a you problem. So you need to pay attention. This is not Helen's House of Hair. I don't want anybody, twisting their hair, mashing their pimples, looking outside, anything like that. I need you to pay attention.
In today's video, we have two TPO cases. The first case is between two elderly neighbors that just can't get along. The second case is between a brother and sister. The sister is asking for a TPO against her brother because she claims he talks inappropriately to her. Get comfy because these two cases are wild. Let's get into the video.
Run.
And both raise your right hands for me. Swear that testimony in this case to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Ms. Ammons? You're muted. You're going to need to unmute.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor. I do.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Patton, you're no longer in custody, is that right?
That's right.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ammons, you indicate that Mr. Patton communicates with you when you've told him you don't want to speak with him anymore and that he's threatened you, is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor, but this goes back almost a year and a half ago when the manager and another resident got a restraining order on him. And after he was served, he comes up to me, different parts of the building outside, videotaping me, talking to me, saying, I know you were there and I saw you in the video. When, Your Honor, I was not there in court with these two other people. As many times as me and my husband have told him this, he continued to harass me. Actually, the incident that happened with my husband, 9:30 that morning, he came up and harassed me and said, the courts have cameras, I told him to get away from me or I was going to call the police. I came in the office, wrote a statement and gave it to one of the managers here, Davion. She said she would let the manager, Leah, know that had occurred. Then I went back outside, walked with another male resident who was escorting me out by my car. That's when he stood by the podium, waving his arms, putting his video camera up, daring me to try to come in the building. I called the office. She didn't want to come out because of her safety with Steve and his behavior. So I had no choice but to call my husband and said, here we go again. And that's when the altercation happened with Steve and my husband. I have told Mr. Patton many times that I was not there in court and he needed to just get over it. If I go to the mail room or I come off the elevator, one of the elevators that he's not even supposed to be using due to the other restraining orders. If I'm in the kitchen down here doing activities or cards, he makes derogatory comments to me and tells other residents, calls me CUNT and filthy names.
Liar.
This has just been
Mr. Patton, don't say a word. I'm sorry, Mr. Patton, don't say a word until I ask you.
This has just been an ongoing thing. I have gone to the office every time there's been an incident with him, and I have written statements and given them to Leah, the manager. So, I just want this man to stay away from me and leave me alone. I have health issues. I've only been given a life expectancy of 5 years to live with major heart issues. And I'm scared of him, along with a bunch of other residents who are scared of him too. And that's why they would not give statements against him the day he was arrested, because they say they're afraid that he'll retaliate. And also, he wasn't even out of jail a day and a half, and he wasn't the order you gave for 1,000 feet. I was facing Pacific Avenue and residents told me he's heading this way with his dog. I don't know if that was 1,000 feet or not, but I got scared then. And then residents came up and said that he showed them a gun and said he had.
Jesus.
Mr. Patton. I don't want to hear sound from you. Thank you. Go ahead. Finish
and
off.
said that he showed them a gun and said he's got things taken care of. That was recorded, and I went and shared it with the manager. Then we called the police, and they came and did a report and investigation on that. They said that they could not search his apartment or anything else because these people couldn't actually identify what the gun looked like. So, this has just been non-going behavior from him. And I just want him to leave me alone. And I want to be able to be safe coming down here where I live. I'm involved in a lot of activities. I run the bingos here. I do arts and crafts. And, I shouldn't have to keep on looking over my shoulder and worrying about him.
All right. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Patton, now you can unmute. Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead. Pat.
Well, for one thing, I turned in my guns a long time ago. I never had a gun. The cops came to my apartment saying they had a call.
Know that living caregivers only sign one addendum once you move in, and they're not listed on the lease.
I can't hear her.
Doesn't have to sign anything when you renew.
Mr. Patton, you're going to have to shut your door. You're in court, so I expect you to be able to have a hearing here.
I can't hear you. Somebody else is talking. Well, the cops came to my door saying they had an anonymous call saying that I was walking around waving a gun at people. I'm tired of that. That's a lie. They're trying to put me back in jail. That was a flat out lie. Amanda's good at lying. She makes all kinds of statements that's not true. It's all hearsay. It's a damn lie. I'm tired of it. And I believe
Anything
the police went down and talked to her. I didn't say all that stuff to her. She's real good at making up things. That's it, I guess.
Okay.
I'm out of here in a few days, so it doesn't matter.
Your Honor, may I say something, please?
You don't need to. Thank you.
Okay.
So it wasn't an anonymous call. It was from Leah.
All right, Mr. Patton, I have entered the protection order at the request of Ms. Ammons. You were to have no contact with her. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of her or her workplace.
I don't
I've
work.
not
here.
put restriction on the residence since I know the two of you reside in the same complex. And Ms. Ammons, this order will be in effect for 1 year from today's date. If you need it renewed, you have to come back to court and ask for it to be renewed. The order does not need to be served on Mr. Patton again since he is present in the court and the terms of the order haven't changed from the temporary order previously entered. All right, a copy of the order will be available for both of you in the district court file for the case. Thank you.
Your Honor, how I need to come down there and get a copy of the order?
Typically it's available online. She can come in and get it.
You can come in or you can go online to get it. Either way.
Yeah, the other order you gave 1,000 feet, the police said that they couldn't find anything on him being served with anything. And that's why they didn't pursue anything that Friday about the gun issue.
Well, I have the proof of service that he served at Nisqually. So,
Okay.
okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Hammond.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day.
Thank you. Jamie Smith, Jacob Vallum.
Fucking lying bitch.
Hello?
Good morning. And Ms. Smith, I need you to activate your, there we go. Thank you. Both of you raise your right hands for me, please. Swear the testimony in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes. I swear.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. I can't hear anything, Ms. Smith.
I said I do. You can't hear that?
Thank you. Now I did.
Oh, okay.
Is there a way you can turn the picture off so I don't have to look at my sister? It's upsetting me greatly and making it hard to speak.
Nope. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So Ms. Smith, Mr. Vallum's your brother,
Yes, sir.
and you said he's engaged in all kinds of inappropriate communication with you, that you told him to stop and he doesn't stop.
I was not told to stop.
Mr. Vallum,
Okay.
I don't want to say, you don't say anything until I ask you questions. You've told him to stop. He hasn't stopped, and you indicate he's threatened you as well. Your safety.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
accurate? And you say this has gone on for, you said 12 years.
Well, Jacob, my brother, So the mental health issues have gone on for 12 years. Yes, sir.
Okay, what about the communication with you that you find to be inappropriate?
That's been since this January. You can see in the little timeline of all the screenshots and the pictures that I posted in that paper packet.
Okay. All right, Mr. Ballum, anything you want to say about the screenshots or?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I'd like to say. My sister is a liar for one, and has been slandering me and my name and everything. She decided to tell you about my relationship with my father and says I gave him a black eye. The man fought with me because we had a
Mr.
problem.
Mr. Ballum,
Okay.
stop right there. Let's just talk about the screenshots.
I'm trying. Okay.
Go right to that.
Well, in the screenshot, she talked. Well, I was talking about the note, the statement she wrote on the paper. But these screenshots, yeah, I'll tell you about them. You know, I'm a gay man. You know, and part of that is because of my sister and some of the things she did to me growing up. And you know, I learned last year sometime that my two sisters were trying to have a baby. And I was really excited. I myself am Valentine's baby. I was conceived on Valentine's Day. And all I've done is try to give her friendly advice on how to properly conceive. Most people do it on accident. And so I told her, I'm like, you know, you just got to be a little dirty. And she took offense by that. And all I've ever done is just try to be friendly with her. For years, I've done nothing but try to be her friend. I've lived with her multiple times, and she's frankly kind of abusive. When I lived with her, it was my way or the highway. You're going to go to school. You're going to go to college. You're going to give me all your money. She forced me to go back to college to take my grant money. It didn't matter that I was on Social Security and I was paying rent and a really big electric bill for like, what, 4 people? It was like over $200. She basically ate all my Social Security money, forced me to buy her car. And then I had to go to college and look for a job. And I was just completely miserable. And I wasn't allowed to be happy. I had like basically $100 at the end of every month. And I wasn't allowed to save. All that money just went in gas to go back to school. And I was forced to go to school, something I didn't want to do. And basically, she forced me, and she also forced my brother to do the same thing. My brother had a full-time job, and it didn't matter that he had a full-time job. He wasn't allowed to save either. He wasn't allowed to be happy. It was, you go to school, you do this, you do all these things. And my brother was constantly coming home just bawling, crying, and you know, living with my sisters has been terrible. I didn't just you know, I didn't just go back to school and give them all my money. I cooked and cleaned. They basically ate my food card every month. You know, I shared all of my things with 3 other people. And, you know, all that they took my money and took my money and took my money. And, you know, I finally am living on my own, and I got a nice place, and I'm stable. And I felt like telling my sister what I thought of her and how she treated me. She treated me terrible. And I went to tell her, I told her, I said, I'm going to report you to a few different agencies for the things you've done to me. You've abused me. You've taken all my Social Security money. That's abuse of a Social Security recipient.
Okay, Ms. Smith, don't you interrupt. Let him go. And okay, Mr. Vallum.
Okay.
Stop,
and also
stop. Okay. I don't need the family history. I just want you to address. I want you to address the issues raised by Ms. Smith.
I am getting to that. And I also told her that, you know, what she did to me when I was a kid was not okay. She molested me in 2002 when I was 8 years old. She molested me and my little brother, her and the neighbor girl, Randall. And she has talked to me one time about it. I talked to her a couple years ago before moving out away from her. And she basically kicked me and my brother out on the streets, and we were more or less homeless. But basically, I talked to her about this once, and she admitted to me that she did it, but will not tell the family about it. And every time I try to tell my family, she calls me a liar. I told my friends and family on Facebook because it was the easiest way to contact them. And she's trying to have me silent.
Mr. Vallum, when was the last time you and Ms. Smith lived together?
A couple years ago. It's been like, I think, going on 3 years now.
Okay.
We lived at the Cross Point Apartments in Kennewick.
Okay. All right.
Like I said,
okay. No. All right. Thank you.
Tried to confront my sister on things, and she's trying to silence me. I have freedom of speech. No.
Thank you. And are you still out in the Kennewick area?
No, I live in Olympia. and my sister gave me this restraining order and she wants it for 5 years. I think that's inappropriate. I would like the restraining order to be double-sided. Basically, right now the restraining order is against me and it says she's allowed to come in contact with me, but I'm not allowed to come in contact with her. I actually want a restraining order against her. I was in the process of finding one. I've been calling lawyers asking what to do with my terrible sister and how to approach this. And they said to get a restraining order, but she gave me one first because we had an uneventful conversation over the phone. And part of the phone conversation.
You know what, Jake? I don't talk to you already.
Don't talk to
What do you need to
Ms.
restrain?
Smith,
speak to me, ma'am.
mute yourself, please.
Can I have a minute to breathe? I forgot what I was saying now. She's very interruptive and does this to me all the time.
Really hard. All week we've just been crying and crying and posing and crying and
I don't even, God damn it. What the hell was I saying? See, this is the part of my issue.
Okay,
so
hold on.
And
Mr.
when
Valum, Mr. Valum, stop.
Yes.
Okay, you were telling me you want a protection order. That's what you were
Yeah,
telling me.
okay, I remember now. Thank you. I have brain damage because, you know, when my sister did the thing to me in 2002, when she molested me, she beat me to be quiet. She hit me over the head very hard and gave me brain damage. And I've been trying to fight it. I've told so many people what she's done to me, and she just spreads lies and rumors, says that I'm a liar. And yeah, I want this this restraining order to be double-sided. I don't want her to be able to come in contact with me. She has a gun. And last October, she brought it into my home. When my mom came to visit for her birthday, I was very uncomfortable. And ever since then, I haven't wanted to see her again.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay. Based on the documents submitted with the screenshots, which were wholly inappropriate and contrary to Mr. Valum's portrayal of the comments, they were not innocent in my mind. So I will grant the request for the protection order by Ms. Smith. Mr. Valum, you're to have no contact with Ms. Smith at all. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of her or her residence or her workplace. This order is in effect for 1 year from today's date. Ms. Smith, if you want it renewed, you'll have to come back to court and ask for it to be renewed.
I have a few questions.
A copy of this order will be available in the district court file for each of you. You can either show up in court to get a copy, or you can go online and get it. And I will not grant Mr. Valum's request for a protection order against Ms. Smith, but Ms. Smith, clearly, since you have the order of protection here, the implication is, of course, that you don't want any contact with your brother, so you won't be having contact with your brother. All right. Thank you both.
I have questions. Like, is there a fee? What's going on? I'm on Social Security. I don't have a lot of money, and I'm not sure.
I've not imposed any fee at all.
So this is just a restraining order, and I just don't talk to her no more.
You don't go within 1,000 feet of her or residence. You don't speak with her. You don't call her. You don't text her. Nothing.
This
Okay,
also
I just
means
want to know if
my
I had any fees I had to pay.
Okay. Thank you both.
Bye.
Hand me my screen box.